So not everybody gets right after going on, but right now we have a little trick. So right now we're gonna go like this Avantika. It's a podcast called Impact Players Podcast. I'm going to look at it myself, and it's gonna be both sides. Can you hear me, Avantika?
Yeah, I can hear you. So
Perfect.
there's a bit of an echo. Yeah, 1 second. Let me just sort out the echo, I think. Yeah, it's like doubled. So in the video, there's a delay on the Zoom. So here it's slightly...
Okay.
Wait. You know what? I think I will...
You know what you can do? You can mute.
You know what you can do?
You can mute the Instagram.
You can mute the Instagram. Yeah, I have just muted.
But now, can you? Is it echo now?
All working. Yeah, it's all working now. Yeah, that's good.
So, like I said, for everybody, we'll be able to send the link as a double link, because right now we just have a little trick how to really at the same time have notifications and everything, and to really make this beautiful podcast is first of all impactful person that we finished a couple days ago workshop together, and you know, these beautiful ladies, smart, intelligent, and of course now I believe she's a leader of new generation. Avantika, this is a really amazing person. I'm really grateful to meet you. Right now we have this Impact Player podcast. It's just really, I introduce on a weekly basis smartest, I think, minds, as it sounds in my environment right now, that can really have a big impact for their life, of course, and then they're ready to step up and make impact for others. That's the thing. It's like, you know, I have a lot of friends from like a stewardess, and they told me the rule of thumb that you have to put mask on yourself first, help yourself first, and then help others. So yes. Anyway, right now, like I said, I'm really grateful for that really experience with you. You're gonna just start with a little introduction of you can just tell about yourself, really your story, how you're gonna get started and how you end up what you are, and then we'll talk about a little bit more in-depth things I already prepared. So let's go, please. Avantika, stage. I want to just invite this beautiful lady, thoughtful leader, the amazing woman, confident leader, really supportive sister and daughter, and definitely one of the most lovable and admirable wife, future wife, who is coming. So, Avantika, please, stage is yours. Hundreds of thousands of people staying and thousand to you.
Wow. So, hey, what an introduction. Thank you so much. Amazing use of those elevating words. And thank you so much for having me on your podcast too. And yeah, incredible. I'm really happy to have met you from Georgia, and I'm in Germany right now. So it's great to have met like-minded people who are trying to make a difference in this world in encouraging and empowering other people. So yeah, very happy to be here. And so a little bit about my personal background. So I was that's always a big story, but I'll give a short, concise version, which is so I have been working as an engineer, but always been passionate about empowering other people. And I basically decided to do coaching on the side in like the past 2 years, where I deeply became very spiritual and found spirituality. And I was combining my logical mind with the spiritual side of me together to really see where it was taking me. And it was a very intuitive path, couldn't have planned it. Things happened in a way like universe was aligning things for me. And once I started following it, it was truly a path which yeah, I couldn't have planned. And how I was helping people became part of my purpose. And really, that's how I started living it. Yeah, so now I work as a coach, as a self-defense coach, as a woman empowerment coach. And generally, I also do I started the Super Jump course where I met you as an intellect trainer, and I also became an intellect trainer. Exactly. which was a great platform to reach people all around the world. Otherwise, I wouldn't have known how to do that. And so it was, yeah, exactly. Meeting people from so many different countries and being able to have that reach, and also, yeah, connecting with like-minded people. So that's what I'm doing at the moment and how I've ended up here. Yeah.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. And I remember at some point in your life, you told me that you were back then, like maybe 2, 3 years ago, so more of like in a capitalist mindset. So you wanted like a fame, money, like maybe things, more things. And really interesting what happened, like exactly why you decided to like step, like there's like some people say there's a bird and they have 2 wings. One is like a material part, another one is spiritual. So because I think at some point you have really similar stories with you. So like, can you just, this is transition, like exactly what made you change? Just really interesting.
Yeah, sure. So yeah, I would say like around, but probably 3 years ago, where until that point, I was heavily driven, success driven. I wanted to oh, let me just mute that. That just stopped. Okay. Yeah, so I really just wanted to, is that okay? All good?
Yeah. We good, we good, we good.
So I really wanted to like make basically I was working from extrinsic motivation, validation from other people, what my worth is in the world through this, what I'm doing. But actually, what I like truly wanted was something I didn't actually question deeply. And it wasn't until I got injured and I had to stop my hustle mode, and really I couldn't do things that I was doing. I was like, you know what, I will grit through it. I'll just put the hard work and things will work out, because that had always worked out in the past. And I was like, just keep going, just see where it takes me. And I was very like goal oriented, which is great, but the way I was going about it was not great. And I think when I got injured, I really questioned who I was doing it for and what is really what I'm trying to create and why. Those deeper questions really came about when I was completely injured. It was like COVID time, so I couldn't go out and distract myself in meeting people. And I pretty much had to face what was going on. And that's where I went deep into spirituality, met lots of holistic coaches as well as mindset coaches, and had coaches for myself to help me figure those questions out, because doing it alone is so difficult. It's like you can read books, you can listen to podcasts, but really when you have someone dedicated to you who has been on that journey guiding you, is the best way to really go forward. And that's what I found was yeah, for me, I wouldn't have been able to find those steps and things that I wanted to really pursue, and why, and really finding out about who am I, what my personality is, what are my limiting beliefs? And when you go deeper into it, that from childhood I've been carrying these limiting beliefs and how they are just holding me back from really going further into what I want. That's when things changed, and I started living more from what fulfilled me and what impact I was making in the world. So yeah.
That's amazing. Amazing. And I'm telling you, I just really have a feeling, I already told you that you are on something big, and like millions of people will hear your voice, your story to really make a difference for themselves. Because I think at some point we agree with you that like a self-sabotage, right? That's like the thing is what really me like holding me back at some point in your life also. We also just gonna break it down by those things, how, right? Like your personal experience with the self-sabotage, how it worked in your maybe childhood when you start a transformation for yourself as a in the leadership side. Because again, you are the leader with a big capital L in 100%. I just saw you on the stage. I saw you how you really was super jump. I'm telling you, you're already.
Thank you so much. Yes, I think, yeah, that's such a great point about self-sabotage and leadership. Something I have been battling with in terms of even in my coaching and when I was doing self-defense coaching and at conferences. You know, I was at a conference in France last year, and amongst these world experts in engineering, and I was presenting my research and on this like big stage, and I just felt right before going on like, no, I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm one of the youngest female in a very male dominated industry, in a very basically, yeah, there were like so few women out there too, so I felt like I don't know if my work is scientific enough, if it's really going to make it. All those beliefs right before I was about to go on stage just creeped in, even afterwards. And that's where this imposter syndrome really can be a big self-sabotage, because I felt internally so not at peace and a little bit of nerves is good, but when it really takes over and stops you from taking further steps, because after that I completely isolated myself because I was like, I don't think that was good enough, and these thoughts just kept creeping in, and but it's really how you bounce back from certain experiences and think, you know what, let's try again. And then once you do, opportunities start coming without you realizing, which happened exactly to me, for example, with leading the super jump course and the opportunity to do workshops in self-defense, the opportunities to speak more, and this podcast came with you. So yeah, I think it's it's really difficult in terms of tuning out that ego voice that will stop you at every point. Yeah.
Sounds good. Sounds good, and it's not even good. It sounds based on a real story, real experience. You know, because again, I just remember myself also before Super Jump. I was like, speak publicly, like what I have to say. I can't really like get it's like a nervousness. Plus, you have to like spot what you have to say, and you know, usually even give some understandable and motivational point that people have to take action, not just sleep, whatever. That's amazing. That's really amazing. And like, and you, I think you've been in Sarasota, or where? It, in the States.
Yeah. So that was actually that was actually at a wedding,
Okay.
but it was a photo that yeah, but it was the stage one was in France. But it's interesting you mentioned that because that photo that I put, and oh, if you like slide onto that post, and you see the one before is like me when I was 18 years old, and the one in Sarasota was me when I turned 30 last year. And the difference in personality is two different people. It's unrecognizable, and really it is through deep inner work and mindset shifts combined with spiritual healing. And I don't even recognize the person I was at 18 years old, because it was someone very shy who wouldn't have taken up on stage presence, someone who wouldn't have taken presence in even groups and talking to many different people in groups. That was like, I couldn't do it before, and I had social anxiety. But this like goes to show when you really start focusing on your kind of limiting beliefs and how you can shift that mindset, it makes a massive difference. The opportunities that fold out for you have been folding out for me, actually, and the risks I am able to take is immense. And yeah, so I put that post to show the difference, how I transformed, and what I learned along the journey, and how it's possible literally for anyone, even someone who thinks like that's so far away from like where I am currently. But I'm truly living my life on my terms now. I'm truly living it how I pictured and how I would want to. And yeah, so yeah, it's
That's amazing, Avantika. That's amazing. And also at some point, what do you think, like how many people really deal with the self-sabotage in general? Is everybody, is every other person, in your opinion, like in your circle?
So I have found, so since I work with women a lot, I have noticed that heavily, and I can only speak from that experience more so, but people do self-sabotage quite a lot. Often I find someone who is actually, in my eyes, like incredible, but they don't feel that way, so they wouldn't take those steps. Whereas I'm seeing certain qualities about them which are so immensely powerful, and perhaps it's so easy for them to ignore them because they have always had those qualities and talents, which is why it's so important to know exactly what you're good at and also not good at. But if you know what you're good at, and other people may see it, but if you don't realize it, that is a big self-sabotage. When I had a, yes.
Go ahead, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, and like when I had my first coach, who was incredible, and I said that my aim of this coaching, and it was 3-month coaching that I did with her, and I was like, my aim is to find out exactly what my strengths are and what am I really, really good at naturally, so that I can show those qualities more and more and show up in the world with them. Because if I don't recognize it, then perhaps I don't know what my value is, you know? So yeah, I really recommend everyone to start this personal development journey as soon as they can, really, to really finding out what they are good at and trying lots of different things. Often people don't do it because there are parts of us that we don't want to look at, which are hard to look at. Perhaps that we are it's a rabbit hole, because once you kind of start looking at one part, more things will open up, no doubt. And it will be messy, because it will be like crying worth it, because on the other side of it is like a huge potential. And the earlier you do it, the earlier you know what you are meant to be doing in this world.
100%. You know, and in my like, it also surroundings a lot of people who face with this, and also I faced with that. But what I've noticed, it also took me like maybe a year or 2 years, even just like constant working with somebody else, with myself, whatever. And then at some point, what I really see the breakthrough that everybody is um, looking for the fast results, right? I mean, nowadays we live in a world that everybody wants to have some like results faster. And I've noticed
Yeah.
that super jump became the fastest like breakthrough for me of my belief, of my like energy, of my like love, happiness, that like, and here and there I don't have to leave. I can double my energy. I can just really have this weird uplifting mood without getting out of my house, you know?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah, yeah.
So like what like the key strategies, what is the like maybe exercises or something that like really with the super jump specific, it's only 10 days, that help you the most of like limited beliefs of self-sabotage, that you have to, that you stopped like neglecting yourself, saying something to yourself, or like, hey, let's change it. What kind of techniques or something really helped you? Worse.
Yeah. There, yeah, no, that's a great question because there's so much in there. I think especially people who, well, actually, to be honest, for anyone, but especially people who have no idea what to really look at, like they want to improve themselves or want to like create a different life for themselves, but they're just not sure how to do it and who to ask and what to do. This is an absolute great step to take in just learning certain techniques to opening up those doors and to really realizing that how can we feel empowered. And it's a 10-day course, but it is an intensive 10-day course where you're surrounded by people who are immensely encouraging you in every step of the way. No one is going to say what you, no one is going to critique you, because we often critique ourselves so much that other people don't need to do it. um, and we are like, I was heavily critical of myself, like wanting things to be very, you know, sort of success oriented, perfectionist or perfectionism oriented, you know, and it's and having first time in my life a group of people who are simply just absolutely kind, but also like pushing you up and elevating you in those 10 days, every day, every single day, will feel initially weird because we're not used to it, but it's exactly what you need to drown out the voice of that ego. So that is like the number one thing I think from this course that I definitely took. The second thing was the different exercises, the range of different exercises from involving body, your kind of subconscious mind based, like with affirmations, and body being more like your postures, and also self-discipline. It's a combination of all those things to really actually get you initially to recognize, hey, you're thinking some bullshit thoughts out there, right? It's time to change that. To even recognize that, it was a huge thing. So in terms of key strategies, I would say, even if from this whole course you take one exercise that you can take in your toolkit and lead with that, it's done its job. And often people come like as return people who to this course because it's habit building, and it just if yeah, it just uplifts you. I remember the first time I did the super jump course, I was having a quite an intense week, but I looked forward to coming to the session because I knew there wouldn't be anyone complaining about what is going wrong. You know, everyone would focus. It trains your mind to focus on, at least for like the 40 minutes to 1 hour that we meet in that time, to at least that time be dedicated to focusing on something that is going good. And yeah, so there are many key strategies that you can take, like posture, affirmations. There's a lot in the audio training, really having tools to build and strategically plan your first steps of your future. And yeah, so that's what I would say.
Amazing. And I also would like to add a little bit on that. You said what's like, because I've heard the same quote from Tony Robbins, and he said, "What's wrong always available. So what's right?" Right? We start focusing ourselves what's good, like really like what's good with exercise. Because also I've noticed we know a lot of like we became really information not as the issue as I see right now. Nowadays, I think it's not about information problem. I think it's about transform action problem. So we know a lot, but we don't apply. And I think the super jump, because of the group session, that on the beginning, people, not everybody like sat on the first day, on the second day, like really action. And then they see other people take action, other people start getting some results. So like, okay, let me try to, and then step up, and you start. And what I also noticed, you can just as a put to that we've learned how these simple exercises charge our body, our mind, and our soul as we charge our phone. That's the key every day. And when you wake up and you're like battery on your phone 100%, you're really ready to take extra step, different actions, try something new. But if not, whether opinion of others, self-sabotage, limited beliefs, something always run available will get you out of that. And when you just try tomorrow, procrastination will lead to disappointment. The life of yourself. And like you said, it's a rabbit hole. And faster you break it, and like, faster and more of the habit you'll be able to break it, it's easy. And like I said, that's like, for me, personal super jump became as like at the point that I've been in a lot of courses, personal development and everything, but it was the easiest and the biggest like a breakthrough I discovered. And right now, as you and me, we are sportsmen, athletes. Okay, how I can do it on a daily basis, and then see results just will come. So yes, and can you share maybe like interesting um, testimonials or insights, maybe from you when you had like the biggest aha moment in a course, breakthroughs, or maybe people who've been in your trainings that is like, wow, this is the good case study for myself. I see that it really worked and they had like really good results, like in breakthroughs so far.
Yeah, definitely. So no, yeah, you're absolutely right with what you mentioned. With the exactly what you explained in terms of testimonials, especially in the last group.
Mm-hmm.
Because my mum had also joined, if you
Yes, that's cool.
remember yeah, she is. I was so happy to see how much she was stepping out of her comfort zone. My mum until last year, she had dedicated her life to her kids and the household and making sure all the kids were, just she dedicated her life to us, made sure we came first, and really always just supported our goals as much as possible, to a point where she never truly could dedicate that intense time to herself. And I'm so grateful that finally she's getting to do that, because all the kids have now like moved away. And for her, I remember in the last couple of weeks, I was saying, so how are you doing? What is going on? And she seemed a little bit like lost in terms of what her next steps are. And I didn't really know exactly what I could do. And I felt a little guilty because I live in a different country. And then I was like, I'm not there to help her out either. So when I decided to do the training for the super jump course, I was like, okay, well, I might as well invite her. And at first she was like, not really sure if it's her cup of tea or what exactly it is. And now she calls me and she's like, hi, my most amazing daughter. Like the words that she like all the words that
Um, you don't have
for.
a
Yeah.
amazing. It was a little bit out of the internet. We just didn't really hear the last thing, but I also wanted to say how cool that Avantika invited her mom and sister. You know, I have the same issue for me. Like my relatives clearly don't understand what I'm doing, but when you just did it on the first time, as I told you, as a base, your relatives understood what it is from the inside. Not because, do you agree? When people see something like that, not being in a group, not being in a like a workshop, it sounds a little bit different and weird. It's just like, and I think it's okay, it's normal. But when you insight, when you understand the deal, why it's important, why we do it, right? Why we just gonna lift each other up for no reason, why we just smile a little bit more, why? When you understand the reason behind, then you say, maybe it just makes sense. And if you have a result or you see other people have results, completely, but sometimes like this, what the moral of the story, sometimes people judge book by its cover, not even reading it. Just cover can be good, but can you read it and then give opinions sometimes, Oh, I don't like the orange, okay, it's bad book. Come on, man. Just right. So don't judge book by its cover. And um, what's your plan with like for maybe like for 2024 that you wanna try pursue or do or something? Because just year started. So what's your really like maybe a little bit shaky, scary thing to do in 2024 that you want to just as a make a breakthrough?
Great question. Great question. Because yeah, it's this year is very different because I am stepping into entrepreneurship, which is so different to before, just dealing with uncertainty and like leading with self-trust and having this immense trust in the universe and yourself, and each day creating life or what you are putting out based on that is difficult but also so rewarding, which I'm finding out. I'm literally almost 2 months into this journey so far, and I have already, like, I can see more and more patterns because I'm the one leading now fully. It's like a radical responsibility of my life, um, in terms of really finances, how I choose to live my life, what people I surround myself with. With entrepreneurship, like what I'm finding is that you really start to prioritize things much more so when you have the reliability and certainty of a job, when let me just close, you are more likely to sign up, you're more likely to do things when you are in a very certain situation. Yeah. You are on mute, I think.
Go ahead. Sorry, it was my sister. I have to bring my nephew to the soccer.
Ah, okay. The live went off. That's okay. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's fine. We will be able to make it happen. I told you as on a YouTube anyway.
Great, great. Yeah, so I mean, on my last point in terms of what I'm trying to create this year is I'm going deep into my coaching side of things and really um, stepping more into the entrepreneurship role, and it's still clarifying how that would look like, but it's bigger goals this year, bigger in terms of wealth, in terms of the community I want to be surrounded in, and the life I want to create for myself. So
Mhm.
I look at the four pillars: health, wealth, purpose, and relationships. And in all four of them, I have put down what exactly I'm calling in, and yeah, which immensely helps. And it's the biggest year yet. It's the biggest year yet.
And it is only the start. Like
And it,
that's amazing. And the last question, two more questions, and that's it. We're gonna just wrap up a little bit. Really excited because I'm telling you, like those type of people, as I see you, and just when I saw you in the first 2 days, I want to have around because I truly believe environment really matters, and with who you do it, how you do it, and like how far you striving. And like I said, for me personally, like those type of people, really you can trust. Like your expertise, your life, your directions. Um, in terms of health, wealth, love, like relationship, I would say, and you said purpose or like spiritual part, how you can just put it on the order. What's important for you? Second, third, and what would you put it?
So I would always put health first. So health would come first. It's very difficult to order them, but it's without that, it's just nothing else is possible. Then it would be the spiritual purpose, or that's how I would lead my life. Um, then it would be
Wealth,
relationships,
relationship. Uh-huh.
and then wealth, yeah. Although there is an argument, because wealth is also linked to our purpose and how we show up in the world and our security, right? So perhaps there is an argument, so I'm trying to work that out, because when we feel secure, and that's when we are ready to give other people more. So maybe
Hmm.
those two are tied for me, but yeah, that's how I see it for me.
That's good. I would love to share mine. At some point when I moved to United States, very quickly, I read the book from Arnold Schwarzenegger, and his
Yeah.
book was about you have to care about health, as he said first. He was waking up at 6 o'clock, go to the gym. Then he was working on his like a work. So he said wealth. Second, third, it's relationship with the girls, with the friends, with the parents. Like that's he called not love. Love is usually man and woman, and relationship it's like social life.
Yeah.
He worked a third way, and he said then happiness comes like spiritual. Spiritual happiness comes automatically when you have those two covered. It was really interesting for me, and I was trying to live off by that. And then at some point, I really burned out because I was also like say I want to be happy. I want to do whatever I like, happy. And I was just like, let me just make $100,000 and will be happier a little bit. And I wasn't. The funny part is I start constantly chasing something to be happy, to feel happy. And then when I really discovered the super jump, this is what really my paradigm shifted from happiness being as on the end and be automatic to the beginning, because happiness is a choice. It's like and with a super jump you can really charge this happiness. And when you're happy now, when you smile, when you're grateful, health, wealth, and relationship comes easier. That's my formula. Comes easier because you're not attached, you loving, and when you have this like different energy, when you just really in different like a harmony, really you start connect with the different people on a different level. You start really like see good in yourself and others, and really the whole idea changed. You know, that's like my way of like how I live my points. That's really good one to hear yours, and maybe make sense for you at some point also, because it was really also like as a breakthrough for me. And maybe you can just also the last question to share your I don't know, like a wish for everybody who into personal development, I would say, who would love to level up their those aspects. What you would wish the people maybe like a couple years earlier?
Mhm.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, great question. Because I truly, truly believe it takes a team to really, even one person, you know, when we see so many people that we admire and we see their qualities, it takes a team to build that one person, whether that's a nutrition coach, whether that's a coach in the personal trainer, therapist, all of these aspects in order to keep them in balance. Hire coaches is one of the best investments people can make going into this year, to be honest. I made those investments and I really, truly have noticed the biggest changes in my life come through, and the way I lead my life, and the, you know, even recognition of like what I want and having that clarity, it gives you true confidence. The confidence is it almost doesn't come from just you know, there is that aspect of fake it till you make it, and I was doing that, but once you want to keep it sustainable, it truly comes from doing the inner healing, looking at your trigger points, because there are so many podcasts, so many YouTube videos, so much content out there that you can listen to, but hardly anyone will take any action. And this is where coaches will hold you accountable and tell you exactly what you should be focusing on, because you will often choose the comfortable path, but a coach will tell you this is what is going on and this is what you should focus on. And if you can hire a team of people or even join groups, because you know, yeah, it depends on what people are focusing on. I would say that's one of the biggest things I would wish. It's sort of like a younger version of me, to get a coach for the aspect that you want to create this year, whether that's finance, focusing on health, even relationships, and or your personal passion, finding your passion. Yeah.
That's amazing. That's amazing, Avantika. You are inspiration for many, and I'm telling you, like, really, we're gonna connect it with you. Cannot really wait and see your breakthroughs and everything. Because I think you are really the point, the person who are the like lead as a sun, as Socrates says. Everybody have a sun inside. Just let them shine. And I think you are really what you do. Is just smile, is the way you like approach yourself right now and others. I wish you the best. I wish you really like heights and try new things in 2024 as much as you can, because with the new approaches, with the new actions comes new results, and exactly what we need for the breakthroughs. Thank you so much again
Yeah.
for your time. You're amazing. Send greetings to your mom, Monica, to your sister, Jessica, and see you guys around. Okay?
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you as well. Yeah. Thank you.
Have a good one, Avantika. Let's go. See you guys around.